Well, after 5 matches in the PacificAus Sports Four Nations Tournament, we have finally arrived at the decider between the young Matildas and Thailand U20. Both sides have impressed throughout the tournament, but as well as all of the positives to take away, both on and off the pitch, they will both really want to walk away with that trophy as well. It will be a chance for a little bit of revenge for some of the Australian players who were defeated by Thailand in last year's Under-17 Asian Cup. Most importantly, however, it will be an indication of where both sides are at the very beginning of the latest Under-20s national team cycle. We saw a large crowd at Viking Park on Saturday for the young Matildas. Perhaps a little less at Deakin Stadium here today on a Tuesday, but still plenty of fans out in force to get their glimpse of the future of Asian football. For Australia's part, they'll be hoping to qualify for their 3rd Under-20 Women's World Cup in a row in 2026. And will no doubt be buoyed by the news of the young Socceroos qualifying for their Under-20 World Cup only days ago. This Thailand team, meanwhile, are part of a new generation of Thai footballers looking to take the world by storm and become a consistent World Cup qualifier at senior level, after doing so in 2015 and 2019, but failing to get there in 2023. Well, as the teams come out onto the pitch here at Deakin Stadium, the weather in Canberra just beginning to cool off a little bit. Cold night, something that all of the visiting teams have actually remarked on. Still very comfortable out there though, just dropping to around 23 degrees and plenty to look forward to tonight. There is that trophy that these two teams are competing for. The winner will take home the trophy. A draw will also see Australia walk away with the trophy, given their superior goal difference. Just 90 minutes, no penalties, no extra time. It is winner takes all here this evening. We'll go down now to ground level for the national anthems of Australia and Thailand.
Remain standing for the national anthem of Australia.
The young talents of Australia and Thailand singing their national anthems loud and proud as they prepare for the decider of the PacificAus Sports Four Nations Tournament. Let's take a look now at the way that the two sides will line up this evening. For Australia, 6 changes to the young Matildas side that took on the Solomon Islands on Saturday. There's a change in goal with Alona Malag starting between the sticks, replacing Jessica Skinner. Elsewhere, Madeline Caspers, Sian Dewey, Sienna Silvesca, Ruby Sullivan and Indiana Dos Santos come into the side, with Dos Santos taking the captain's armband. Anastasia Simic, Grace Kualamu and Jasmine Black are the 3 players to miss out, sitting on the bench today. By contrast, only 1 change to Thailand's side, who took on Vanuatu on the weekend, and that change is in goals. Asama Bunprakampai replacing Banyapa Singsai. Coach Nugrotai Strugvian very proud with the way that her side is gelling and working together at present. However, don't be surprised if we see the bench emptied as the game goes on today. So loud support in the stands for both sides. Thailand getting their flags ready. We saw the drum be a constant companion to their game on Saturday in game 1 as well, and it will be so here tonight, you would imagine. Fantastic to see support for all 4 teams at this tournament throughout the games. So Thailand in their huddle at the moment, getting final instructions from their coaching staff. They have looked so good in this tournament, Thailand, full of incredibly smart, technical players that are able to make life difficult. Australia, well, they have been dominant in their 2 games, as Thailand have been as well. Plenty of A-League women's experience in this squad. So much young talent emerging. And as Indiana Dos Santos, wearing the captain's armband today, gives her final words to the team, just know they'll be thinking about walking away with that silverware, with that trophy. It would be the perfect start to a new cycle, the perfect start to 2025. If this group are able to get the job done against Thailand today. And different players have been given the responsibility of the captain's armbands. Their coach, Corey Babington, they're the interim coach of the young Matildas after the departure of Leah Blaney to go be an assistant for the Japanese senior team. Corey Babington has been involved in the program for a number of years, though. Will know a lot of these players inside and out. Also, a number of these players having previously competed at under 17 level. And for Thailand, their coach, Nugratai Sakonwian, she has been pretty relaxed in the dugout, watching her side compete and succeed throughout. I just wonder if she might get a little bit more animated tonight against Australia. Georgia Ghirardello, the central official, ready to get us underway. She's assisted today by Maria Salamasina from Samoa, Stephanie Minan from Papua New Guinea, the 4th official, the Tongan official, Asa Kutamatule. But we are underway here in Canberra for the decider of the PacificAus Four Nations Tournament. It is Thailand who are on the ball early, putting in a teasing cross, but it's kept out well. Alona Malag, Australia's goalkeeper today from Adelaide United, only 16 years of age. Indeed, many of these players in that 16-year-old category as we enter this new cycle, having graduated from the under-17s. Elder players in the team, 19. Thailand on the attack early. Blocked away. It was that player, Kurisara Limpawanit, who was so impressive in the tournament so far. who looked to turn and shoot. Not only her 4 goals that she scored in the tournament, but she also won 2 penalties as well on Saturday. And that was because of her ability to keep the ball, her technical ability, second to none. And the thing that Australia will have to deal with out there today is Thailand's ability to keep the ball. So technically good, technically focused. And Australia will have a difficult job on their hands. It'll be fascinating to see how this one plays out. Here's Shan Jui on the ball. Playing it forward, nice work from Kaspers, who looked to release Sienna Saveska. She scored 3 goals so far in this tournament, Saveska, 18 years of age. She scored 7 goals this season in the A-League Women's. Saveska in exceptional form, including a hat-trick against Western United earlier in the season. She knows how to find the back of the net. The young Matildas will be hoping she can do so again this evening. Jamalong with the throw. And the Matildas managed to intercept, but cleared away again into the sideline. Amelia Bennett's throw. Take 2. Australia scored one of their goals against the Solomon Islands from a kind of throw-in situation. Maybe a slight kick clash there with Georgia Girardello, the referee, and a lovely orange just in the setting sun. Doesn't look too dissimilar to the yellow. She does stand out amongst these youngsters, both these teams, the under-20 national teams. Of course, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu also competing in this tournament. That was their senior national team, so this really is the future of players that we'll see at Asian Cups and compete against each other going forward at all sorts of age levels at senior level in the future, they hope. Ultimate Bunprakampai, Thailand's goalkeeper. Again, they look to move the ball forward, but Kaspers does well. Melag assessing her options. Kaspers. Zara Kruger running through midfield, releasing Trimis. And Bunprakampai is there. Wonderful ball from Zara Kruger, the 18-year-old playing the football at Brisbane Roar. She was the starting captain last game for the young Matildas. That armband has been shared around various players throughout the tournament to give different players a chance to show off their leadership ability. That was a thrilling ball through. Just a little bit too much on it for Trimis to get on the end of it. Montago. Pass intercepted. Here come Australia intercepting the ball in midfield. Lovely turn from Trimis. Attempting to release Kruger, return the favour from that pass a little bit earlier, but Kruger just not able to get there. Thailand supporters making themselves heard. It's fantastic to hear. Kaspers looking to play a ball forward into the path of Saveska, but it will come very calmly to Bunprakampai. one of the 3 players to miss out on the matchday squad for Australia. Grace Kualamu was one of those players who wore the captain's armband in game 1. We're told that she missed today just due to some general soreness. As Thailand's on the attack again, a strike from outside the area. Limpawanit, so dangerous again. And Alona Malag able to play him. So Kualami, just a little bit of general soreness. She, of course, returned this season from an ACL injury and still only 17 years of age, so it's completely understandable. She's been playing very regularly for the Brisbane Roar, and that's something that Matilda's coach Corey Babington will have to keep in mind. Players have come into this camp with different amounts of match minutes. Of course, almost all of these players are playing regularly at NPL level now, but NPL season is in winter, A-League women's season in summer, so for the players who are not playing so much at A-League women's level, there's obviously match fitness issues and so on to consider. And striking a balance, taking a look at these players, and then also trying to win a trophy. There's a lot of things to balance for the Young Matildas interim head coach. Bennett. Caspers. Ball in behind. Dos Santos mowing it down. It was good defensive work from Alisada Utikas, who shepherded Dos Santos away from the ball and allowed her keeper to pick it up. Jamal Wong. That left boot's been so dangerous. And it's found Moondong. Rinyapad Moondong looking to put a ball in with quality. But that was fantastic defensive work by Tegan Bertolicio. It'll be well appreciated by the Canberra crowd. The Canberra United youngster able to prevent Rinyapad Moondong, the Thai captain, from getting the ball in for a cutback. Moondong has scored 5 goals so far in this tournament, including a hat-trick against Vanuatu. So she's in fine goal-scoring form. Kunkai's ball. Looking to switch play. Shubshan. Up the line. It's cut out well. Read well by Ruby Sullivan. Australian coaching staff in deep thought on the sideline as Thailand look to come forward once more. Caspers. Saveska. Santos has been in fine form for Sydney FC this season. Ball's put back central for Dos Santos. Thought about shooting. Indy Dos Santos instead. She'll play it back to Kruger. Whose ball finds the run of Saveska. And Sienna Saveska gets scoring underway for Australia. A delightful ball in behind. The first time finish on the volley. And Australia take the lead. And Dos Santos has played it back to Kruger. How about that assist from Zara Kruger? Fantastic. And then a perfect finish from Sienna Saveska. Saveska, that is a name that Australian football fans will no doubt have to get used to saying over the next few years. She is a fine goal-scoring talent. Found the space in the penalty area and then the most perfect finish you can find off the inside of the post and into the back of the net. And a pinpoint ball from Kruger, setting it all up and allowing it to happen. Here comes Thailand immediately in transition, looking to get that goal back. Kushanshom, and a shot from distance. Going wide. There's Homtago, who was arriving. Not able to hit the target and challenge Ilona Malagi in goal. So Australia, 1 goal to the good. Been an even game so far. And that ball from Kruger, the difference. And we'll have a stoppage now because that's a pretty nasty looking head clash. Indiana Dos Santos, the Australian player who's down Alisada Utikas for Thailand. So both players will need to be looked at here. And they'll receive some physio attention. They'll go through all the required checks. Not quite a head clash, but a heavy collision indeed. But we'll take the opportunity now to go down pitch side to Russ Gibbs. Russ, a good start for Australia.
Yeah, cracking start to Australia, Taryn, and there's a good crowd in here to witness it as well. Both teams, of course, came in with clean sheets, and Australia have broken that Thai wall with a wonderful goal from Saveska, where we're sat at the moment. So stood the goal. We had a perfect angle of it as it caressed the post on its way, and beautiful finish from Sienna Saveska. She's been in great form. It's noticeable that the pace and intensity is much higher than the game between Vanuatu and the Solomon Islands. The temperature has dropped a bit here, and it is a bit cooler in the shade. Some people putting their jackets on already as the evening wears on. A couple of other things of note. Thailand have brought their army, their noisy contingent of supporters again on the far sides. Their drums, their flags and chants have been something to listen to all week in this tournament, and they're out in force again. And one moment you might have missed off camera, Coach Strang Thongmian showed her skill. She controlled a clearance and received a round of applause from her bench for her close control right in front of us here, which was well received from the Thai players and the coaching staff.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Russ. It's always important for coaches to lead by example. Corey Babington watching on. Maybe he's hoping he gets an opportunity to show off his skills as the day goes on. Indiana Dos Santos just still being assessed out in the middle. She's gotten to her feet now. A round of applause from the Australian fans as she walks off the pitch. And 17 years of age still. It's hard to believe. Started her Sydney FC career back in 2022. Has made 38 appearances already in the A-League Women's. So it seems like she's been around for a while. Such a promising young player, a developing sort of number 10 attacking midfield type player. Dewey through to Dos Santos, who's back on the pitch. Ball attempted to go across the Thai defence, but it's defended well. And now on the counter, it's Taobao who's through here. Sita Taobao will have to wait for reinforcements. Nice little 1-2 with Moondong. Taobao's ball in the centre. Cleared away by Kruger, who finds Saveska. And those two is finding that connection so far in this game. And Peter Trimis, despite her best efforts and despite an opportunity to show off her straight line speed, wasn't able to reel it in. So following Sienna Saveska's goal, we now have 3 players on 4 goals for the tournament. So Saveska, Peter Trimis and Kurisara Limpawanit of Thailand. Currently leading the Golden Boot race for the tournament is Rinyapat Moondong, who has 5. So that'll be an interesting little thing to keep an eye on throughout the game if Trimis or Saveska can find another goal. Lovely touch, and on that far side, maybe Sullivan, Kruger, Shin Dewey, Almost had her pass intercepted, managed to fight and win it back. Amelia Bennett winning it right back today. Jamawang opting to throw back to maintain possession.
Very good, Julie.
It is something that Australian teams have typically prided themselves on, is their ability to win the physical battle, particularly against Asian teams in the AFC, particularly at Asian Cups and things like that. We saw it at senior level though against Japan. That's not always the case. This Australian team, this young Matildas, are doing well at winning those duels here today though. And that pass from Kruger going astray. Saobao intercepts. Limpa won it in front of her. Good work from Bertolicio to cut it out. Moonzong now goes out wide. Finds the run of Madison Castine. Castine driving into the penalty area. Still Castine! Wonderful strike! Madison Castine from what looked like an impossible angle gets Thailand's equaliser. And the player from the North Carolina Courage Academy gets her goal. Well, Castine here, we saw her do this on a number of occasions already in this tournament, just cutting inside, beating her player, all ends up beating Millarg at the front post and putting it away. The American-raised Thai international showing off her skills there, scoring her second goal of the tournament. And so we're back level. Australia will feel very disappointed in the way that they conceded that goal, but it has been a fairly even affair so far, end to end. You figure there's going to be more goals in this. Here come Thailand again with numbers forward. Moonzong, heavy touch, allowed Bertolicio to cut it out. Kruger, reverse ball, run of Trimis, will get there. Peter Trimis, perhaps looking to cut inside herself. She'll find Dos Santos. Moondong all the way back to defend. Shan Dewey getting the foot in, trying to play it forward, but eventually it's cleared. How about that from Rinipat Moondong? She was involved in the attack at one end for Thailand, runs all the way back and helps defend the Australian counter-attack. Fantastic work from her. Trimis. Ball back in, but the run from Silvestre. She'd already run quite far forward, so not able to get on the end of that. Kruger, Silvestre, back to Kruger. And out eventually for a Thailand throw. Intercepted, striding forward is Breyer, who takes on the strike from distance. And India Breyer did really well to win the ball. And then looking to score from a long way out. Breyer, 18 years of age, playing her football this season at the Newcastle Jets. And Pawanet intercepts in a dangerous area. Puts in, but it's come all the way out. A strike from distance from Madison Castine again. She was looking to score her second. She probably had more time there than she realised. Maybe could have taken a touch and driven back in towards the penalty area. And Australia just getting themselves into a little bit of trouble, looking to play out. And that does happen at junior international level. Coaches want to establish good habits in their players. Things like playing out from the back. And especially in a friendly type situation, sometimes that can lead to situations where teams lose the ball. We've seen the same with Thailand today. But hopefully these players can continue learning from that and get better and better each time. Dos Santos can't play it through Thailand's midfield. Was almost getting on the end of that, but instead, that's wonderful work from Tao Bao. Tao Bao will look to put a ball in. It's cleared away. Alicio. There's a clever step over to get around Amelia Bennett there. From receipt to Tao Bao. Rendong trying to keep it in, can't do so. A little bit to think about here for the young Matildas. Both sides have now conceded for the first time in this tournament. The tempo of this game, as Ross Gibbs mentioned on the sideline earlier, is very, very high. Both teams going to walk away from this game with that trophy. A draw will be enough for Australia, but they want more than that. Turn from Dos Santos. Finds the run of Trimis. Peter Trimis looking to cut it back inside. Thai players there. Dos Santos keeping it alive. And ball intercepted. Kushan Shom for Thailand. And Cargo. Wikitas's ball goes out wide. A nice run on this right-hand side from Shubshon. Kushan Shom. Looking central, Moondong battling her way. Tried to get through Australia's defence there by sheer force of will. Almost worked too. Took 3 Australian defenders to stop her in her tracks. Ball played forward into the path of Trimis. Trimis won't get there. Again, that straight line speed of Peter Trimis is on display tonight. And it's causing Thailand's defence a number of issues. Dos Santos will keep it in. Back to Silvestre. Silvestre's ball looking to find its way through. Appeals for handball and given. So Australia will have the opportunity to retake their lead from the penalty spot. Mapatsawan Shevshan's arm was raised. And Trimis will hand the ball over to Sienna Silvestre, who's already scored one today. She'll be looking to add her second and go joint top of the Golden Boot race for this tournament. And Sienna Silvestre from the penalty spot against Boon Prakampai in Thailand's goal. Silvestre to give Australia the lead once more. Silvestre converts straight down the middle from Sienna Silvestre. And Australia do regain their advantage. They'll sent the keeper the wrong way. That's all part of the skill of penalty taking. And Sienna Silvestre makes no mistake. That's 2 now for the Wanderer. And Peter Trimis handed the ball over, said, "You can take this one." And Silvestre did not let her down. After putting in the ball that won the corner, she was able to convert. And the young Matildas now one step closer to putting their hands on that trophy. Of course, this game just the beginning for a new cycle. You'll see so many players over the course of the next few years. The ball comes all the way through to Alona Malag, safe hands. And there'll be players who haven't signed for A-League women's teams yet, players who most Australian fans still haven't heard of that will emerge in this team. But as it stands right now, there is so much talent out there on this pitch. And there's so much talent for Thailand as well. That ball over the top from Taobao. Be headed away streakily, and eventually Alona Malag able to come out and collect rather acrobatically. Here come Australia once again. And it's cut out well by Thailand. As Thailand look to play the ball out from the back. We'll cross again to Russ Gibbs down at pitch level. Russ, what can you tell us from down pitch side?
Thanks, Darren. Well, attacking-wise, he's been watching the Thai team working to use the width when they break, and they're almost making it 3v3 at the back. Lipanovic is the spearhead, of course, and then you've got Castine's pace and trickery on the one side, bringing that equaliser, and it's asking a lot of the Australian defence and positivity in their coaching staff to get them to win their 1v1 duels. As for the two coaches, well, Corey Barrington wants his players to get touch tight. Thailand players are a box of tricks, as we know, in confined spaces. He wants his players to be a little tighter to the opposition when they've got the ball, not allow them to turn and create the opportunities that they have been doing so. Meanwhile, Ngrutai Samthongwian, well, she spent most of the opening 2 matches sat calmly on the bench. Not tonight. She's animated, prancing up and down on the touchline, barking instructions out to her team. It's a completely different feel to this one, to the previous 2.
Thank you for that again, Ross Gibbs down on the sideline. And indeed, it is a very different feel for both of these sides. They're looking to win this one, to get their hands on that trophy, and to prove themselves against opposition that they will no doubt face again at the Under-20 Asian Cup, and maybe even the Under-20 World Cup if these teams get that far. So a good test against quality opposition for both. And that is reflected in the intensity of the game, the intent with the two sides both wanting to go forward. And Santos. Thailand looking to advance the ball up the line, not able to keep it in. It's important as well to remember for Australia, not only are there other players that we will no doubt see in this cycle, there are 4 players who were originally in the squad but were not able to make it to the final squad as Australia on the attack again. Silvestre picked the ball up in the penalty area. Silvestre looking to turn, find a teammate. Will come out to Bennett. And yeah, Bennett back to Silvestre, Caspers. Silvestre's ball in. And there, although it's played back to Kruger. Not able to get the shot away. So those 4 players for Australia, Isabella Hoyos, Amber Luchtmeyer, Alexia Apostolakis and Tiana Fuller, all 4 of which have been in fantastic form at A-League women's level. Amber Luchtmeyer perhaps not getting an enormous amount of minutes, but has scored this season. Tiana Fuller, 4 goals this season. Alexia Apostolakis, a massive part of Melbourne City's undefeated season, and Isabella Hoyos, who has started the last few games for Brisbane Roar, who are looking to charge up the table, maintain their top 6 place. So 4 big players who were medically withdrawn from this squad. There is so much depth in this Australian football ecosystem at the moment to lose those 4 players and still be showing the ability and the talent they are showing out there today. It's all about looking to find Moondong, but defended away. Also a great credit to India Breyer, who was one of those 4 players who came in to replace them, along with Nikita Fazari, Christina Kuchek, and Alexis Collins. Breyer starting out there today. He certainly made an impression. Here's Taobao for Thailand. Need to play it back to Moondong. Jamawong, teasing ball in, has to be punched away. Will come out to Castine, who scores her second for the second time in this game. Madison Castine has equalised for Thailand. They simply will not go away here in Canberra. Well, this ball was dangerous. Malag met it well. But Castine, that one touch onto the right boot and smashed it home. Don't underestimate the difficulty of that first touch, to play it so well onto the right boot like that, and then a perfect finish. Malag could do nothing about it. And this is a back and forth exciting game that we have on our hands here. Here comes Thailand again, Moondong. Look at those technical skills. In close quarters, able to just twist and turn away. Wonderful to watch. And it's throw. Silvestre looking to help it onto Caspers, but Shinshom will gather. Castine now on a hat-trick, as is Sienna Silvestre for Australia. The crowd certainly enjoying what they're seeing out there. Again, this is what you love to see in youth internationals. Two teams going at it. No fear. Kruger. Dos Santos into Trimis. A touch right ahead of her. Allows Alisada Utikas to come in and clear it away. Some worried faces on that Australian bench. It's a different sight to the previous games in this tournament. Everyone was quite relaxed. Here's a ball delivered in. Savitska couldn't meet the header. It's punched away by Boom Prakenpai. Good turn from Dos Santos. Indy Dos Santos. Shot blocked. Kruger trying to get involved to keep the attack going. It is cleared. Kruger. Kaspers. Savitska. Ball in the middle. He's searching for the run of Trimis. Wonderfully weighted too. Just a little bit beyond Trimmers. Sienna Savitska is making things happen out there today. It was her ball that won the penalty that she was able to convert. And scored the opening goal, a wonderful volley after a great ball in from Zara Kruger. Got 2 goals to Madison Castaigne. He's kept Thailand in it. And with every ball forward, they look dangerous. Rosita Taubao chasing this one down. Bennett manages to get there in time. And Thailand. And they've won themselves a free kick in Australia's half. Too far to shoot, you would think, although stranger things have happened, but Thai players lining up as potential targets. Jamawong will take it down the left. Taubao into Moondong. Zara Kruger, calm work to take the ball away. As Alina Malag comes across to collect this ball, we'll throw back to Russ Gibbs on the sideline. Russ, what can you tell us about the way the benches are reacting to this really back and forth game?
Well, that's the reason we wanted to come over, to be honest, Darren. It's been 4 really well-taken goals, hasn't there? And a promise of many more to come on this omnipresent threat when both teams enter the final third. Each time that they do, there's a real hint of jeopardy that there might be goals. But it's an extremely even contest. It's been some outstanding individual displays. The defending has generally been good from both sides, despite it being 2 apiece. And I think we get the feeling that this match might be won by what both sides can bring off the bench. And well, they're both sat down at the moment, no hint of any changes, but you've seen the lineups on the bench, and so have we. And it's going to be, I think, whoever comes off the bench and can change this game around that might win it.
Thank you, Russ Gibbs, down on the sideline. With so much talent on the bench with both sides. We've seen throughout the tournament a lot of rotation. So we'll see what fresh legs can bring. In the meantime, Australia on the attack again through Trimis. Peter Trimis, ball in behind for Kaspers. Maddie Kaspers still has the ball here, blocked off the line. And a shot on the follow-up, eventually perhaps Savitska, no. Blocked away again. Thailand's defence scrambling to get back. They've done so well there. All smiles on Thailand's bench because they know how close that was. Here come Australia again. Peter Trimis was offside. Oh my goodness, Sienna Savitska would have thought for all money like she was about to score her hat-trick. But the defensive efforts of Thailand keep her away. It was great work firstly by Ultima Boon Prakampai in Thailand's goal to prevent the shot from Maddie Caspers. And then the opportunity came to an end after that corner because Peter Trimmis was caught offside. But wow, there really is a threat every time either side comes up the pitch. Here is Caspers. And eventually, her header sees it out of play, so Thailand will have a throw. Jamalong. Maybe Sullivan in Australia's defence. And get to play it back well. Little high five of acknowledgement between Trimmis and Alisada Utakas after that foul goes the way of Australia. As the players would have had an opportunity to get to know each other. They had a dinner at Parliament House throughout the week. So no bad blood between the players. It's all an endeavour to continue to improve their football, learn things about their own game, grow as they play each other. Here comes Thailand once more. The shot coming in, Malag able to claim. And they're creating those overloads, Thailand, when they come forward, which is making it very challenging for Australia's defence. I wonder if Coach Corey Babington might just change something slightly about the setup of the team in the second half. It might be an option to have one more sort of defensive midfielder. Looks like Sean Dewey currently in that role. Zara Kruger and Indiana Dos Santos both getting a lot further forward. It does seem to be a more kind of traditional 4-3-3 with Dewey at the base of that midfield. Ball played forward, back to Caspers. Caspers out to Trimmis. Peter Trimmis! Just wide. Clever work from Maddie Caspers to play it into the path of Peter Trimmis there. And shot not able to hit the target. Trimmis did score a hat-trick in the last game. Also had a number of opportunities. Should be hoping she can find her shooting boots out there today and hopefully, from her perspective, regain Australia's lead if she can. Trimmis, no touch. He's looking for Kruger instead. Intercepted by Thailand. And third Alicio. Too much contact on Yunupad Mundong for Georgia Ghirardello's liking. So 3 minutes of stoppage time. You'd imagine there'll be at least one chance in that time. It really has been an engaging, enthralling match end to end. It's Thailand currently with the ball. That free kick from Yunupad Kinkai was cut out, but now it's Kushin Shom playing it up the line. Castine cutting inside again. This time, Australia very wise to the threat. 3 players on her. Jamalong has a wand of a left boot. She goes for the strike, but leaves it wide. Shalaipon Jamalong scored a goal against Vanuatu. She can make things happen from that left-hand side. Caspers is lost out here. Moondong, clever work. Rinyapad Moondong bearing down on goal. And it's saved away. Australia get away with that one. Rinyapad Moondong did exceptionally well to get a side on goal there. What a combination of Alona Malag and also the Australian defence managed to scramble it away. And halfway through the allotted stoppage time. I just feel like anything can happen at this game at any moment. Moondong. Bringing it all the way back to the other side of Utakas. Australian players all back in defence. Saveska comes away with it. Sienna Saveska, an opportunity to break. Go herself here. Playing it central, and then Dewey back to Saveska, ricocheting away for an Australian throw. Midway through is aiming at Dos Santos. Dewey, Kruger, Kushenshom got a foot in, but Australia retained possession. And they fashion something here. Clever from Bertolicio. Dewey. Back to Bennett. And that will be the final action of the first 45 minutes at Deakin Stadium in Canberra. Australia took the lead twice, both times through the work of Sienna Saveska. Thailand equalised twice through Maddie Castine. So at halftime, it is the Young Matildas 2, Thailand Under-20s 2. welcome back to what has been an enthralling match at Deakin Stadium in Canberra. Here are all of the highlights now, both sides with so many opportunities throughout that first 45. It really felt like whenever either side was going forward, there was a goal on. That was the first goal, a wonderful assist from Zara Kruger, finding Sienna Silvestre, who tucked it home very nicely. Left-footed volley off the inside of the post. Madison Castine equalised. How about this run? How about this finish? At the near post, scoring from what looked to be an impossible angle. She's done this all throughout the tournament, Castine. And that was a wonderful way for Thailand to equalise. Australia kept on coming. This shot from India Breyer over the crossbar. Thailand again, lots of opportunities of their own. Sienna Silvestre scored Australia's second, regained the lead after a penalty that was won, after a handball from a cross that she put in the box. And then this again from Castine. That ability to play that first touch onto the right boot and then smash it home. Really fantastic technical ability to do that. Australia thought they would equalise here. Caspers did exceptionally well to turn and shoot. The first shot was blocked. The second came out to Silvestre, and then how about that work from Jalepom Jamawong in defence. Again, more opportunities for Australia as the half ended, and for Thailand as well. Jamawong has a wand of a left boot. Couldn't hit the target that time. And then great defensive work again after Inyapat Mundong found herself in the clear. So there are the halftime stats. Very, very even for both sides. As you can see, you can imagine the possession would be even as well. Both sides have had lots of chances, and there will be plenty for the defences to do, you would imagine, in the second half. Don't go anywhere. Halftime. It is the Young Matildas 2, Thailand Under 20s 2. Well, welcome back to Deakin Stadium in Canberra. It's currently 2 goals apiece between the young Matildas and Thailand's under-20s. But earlier today, we had a match between the Solomon Islands and Vanuatu. That match ended 1-0 to Vanuatu thanks to this goal to Limas Erikan in the first half from a corner. Vanuatu controlled possession, controlled that midfield battle, and that is what got them the win. So that meant that Vanuatu finished 3rd in the PacificAus Sports Four Nations Tournament. And the winner of the Pacific Player of the Tournament was Vanuatu's Jane Alatoa as well. So a fantastic moment for them, defeating their Pacific rivals. And a lot of fantastic defensive work to do as well, which they did so well against the Solomons. Well, we'll throw now down to pitch level, where Russ Gibbs, I believe, have some people that may have missed out on training for this game, Russ.
That's right, Taryn. The beauty of this PacificAus Sports Four Nations Tournament is that the future young Matildas and the future Matildas can be watched by the future Matildas. And I've got a couple of them joining me here from the Gungahlin United Football Club. They're here in numbers tonight from under 10 through to under 13. And I've got Sophia, the goalkeeper, here in yellow, and Charlotte, a winger and striker, in pink. And they missed out on training tonight. Sophia, first of all, why aren't you training?
So we're not training because of the game here. We're looking on how they play and how they like to play and how they communicate, and just trying to be like them, you know.
So you've actually got some homework to do while you're here.
Yeah, so we've got a sheet of paper with some stuff like how they take goal kicks, how they take corners, just trying to teach us like different ways of playing. So
are you enjoying the game so far? What's been the best bit of the first half for yourself?
I think the best bit has been the plays. The plays have been amazing, and I love the physicality because you never know what the ref could play, so you always got to be sharp, you know.
And what about yourself? What have you enjoyed in the first half?
I really loved the penalty. I thought it was really cool.
And do you take penalties?
No, not usually.
Do you think you could in front of all these people in this crowd?
No, it would be pretty nerve-wracking.
You guys obviously big fans of Canberra United, big fans of the Matildas. Who's your favourite player?
I think mine could be Tegan Micah. You know, I love her playing out from the back line. I love her coming out for the 1v1s and her diving. It's like pretty on point.
And for you, Charlotte, your favourite player?
I love Hayley Razzo. I love how she plays. I just love how she touches the ball, that kind of stuff. And
finally, I've got to ask the question, who's going to win the game tonight? What's the score going to be?
Oh, obviously the Matildas, like 15-0. Oh, 15-2, they all just got a goal.
I was going to say they've already got 2.
Like 15-2, you know.
It's going to be some second half. And Charlotte, what about yourself? What's the score going to be?
We're going to win like 100,000-0.
They've scored 2 goals. It can't be nil.
Okay, 100,000 too.
And these are all your friends behind you, and they all play in your same team as well. Everyone say hello. Well, let's hope the second half lives up to the promise of what we've seen so far in the first half. For these young ladies, I'm sure it will.
Thank you so much for that, Russ. You heard it here first. 1,000 to 2, or was it 100,000 to 2? I can't quite remember. Wonderful to see the next generation coming out to support the young Matildas here in Canberra. It was a change of goalkeepers. So Banyapa Singsai coming on to replace Ultima Vunaprakampai in Thailand's goal. At present, it doesn't seem like the young Matildas have made any halftime substitutions of their own. Indiana Dos Santos, they're still wearing the captain's armband. Little handshake with her club teammate, Maddie Kaspers. And they're getting ready to get back underway. Well, the first half provided so much excitement, so much action. There were almost constant opportunities for both sides. What will the second half bring? Referee Georgia Ghirardello getting ready to get us back underway for this second half, the decider of the PacificAus Sports Four Nations Tournament. So we are back underway. The second half between Australia under-20s and Thailand under-20s. The first half provided so much excitement. It provided 4 goals. Australia took the lead twice. Thailand equalised twice. What will the second half bring? Many of these fans here in Canberra will be hoping that it brings a young Matildas win. But for a very noisy, very loud and very passionate Thailand contingent, I'll be hoping that their side can get over the line. Many of these players played in the under-17s Asian Cup that happened last year. Thailand defeated Australia 3-1 in that tournament. So there's a lot of crossover between players as we enter this latest cycle of the under-20s. Maybe a potential measure of some revenge for some of these Australian players. Now Thailand, a very good, very technical side who are capable of punishing Australia. They don't get touch tight if they allow them to play through. There's 2 goals to Madison Castine, a touch of class in 2 different ways. The first one, a wonderful run in. The second, a phenomenal first touch, which allowed her to take the strike and took it perfectly. Moondong intercepting, but Tabao not able to get there ahead of Amelia Bennett. Be interesting to see when those changes will come in for Australia. You'd imagine that they will. There's a lot of talent on this bench. Kaspers playing it into Dos Santos. Maybe Itakas is there and able to take it out of play. Indiana Dos Santos has really been the outstanding young player, or one of many outstanding young players in the A-League Women's this season. But over the course of the last 3 seasons, really ever since she's been in the competition, she's shown what she can do. She's a wonderful number 10. Here she is picking up the ball now. Kruger. 1-2 with Dos Santos, and then back out wide to Bennett. Amelia Bennett's delivery. Get it away. Plenty of blue shirts back into the penalty area. And now Thailand win the foul, which will just relieve a little bit of pressure. Allow them to spend some time in possession, work their way up the pitch. Pinupat Klinkai on the ball. Good touch from Trimis. Kaspers. Amelia Bennett. And Silvestre. Silvestre's ball in, looking for Dos Santos. Instead, it'll come to Kruger. And she throws her head back in frustration. Because she leant back on that one and blasted it well over the crossbar. And it's one of those things that coaches will always say. You have to make sure that your head is over the ball in those sorts of situations. And in that one, the body positioning It was too far back, and that's why it flew over the crossbar in the way that it did. Castine trying to chase that one down. I will play it back. Calm work on Malag in goal. India Breyer making her way forward. Silvestre dropping deep into midfield to pick up the ball. That pass to no one but the sideline though. Interesting that Trinis is on the left, Silvestre on the right. Silvestre not a left footer. Perhaps Babington intending that they cut inside and then can shoot on their preferred feet. Ruby Solomon. Time casters up top and it's cleared away. Dewey. Ball played central to Silvestre. Not able to control it, and Castine will go on a run. Ball played forward quickly in Puanit. Good battle with 3 Australian defenders. She ended up getting the ball away, and now Moondong looking to play a ball in behind to Castine, but Breyer is there, able to clear it away. Anderson Castine causing all sorts of issues down that right-hand side. Scored 2 goals already. Looking for a third. That would give Thailand the lead for the first time in this game. Played in. Appeals by Australia that the ball went out of play, and indeed eventually heeded by the referee. Santos. Tried to switch up play. Australia do come away with it again though, Caspers. Central. Otago is there. And Thailand. Silvestre. In the battle, concedes a foul. Too much force on Jalapam Jamawang. The Thai play is quite cold on the sideline. It does cool down in Canberra, even in summer. And locals will say it's a good thing because you can get to sleep, unlike other cities in Australia, but a little bit too cool for the Thailand players. Are used to a much warmer environment. That is something that all 3 visiting nations remarked on throughout the tournament. Was it was much colder than they expected. They're expecting summer. And they didn't realise that in Canberra it's a little bit cooler than other Australian cities, especially at night. Ball over the top, finding the run of Taobao, receipt to Taobao, bearing down on goal. Saved well by Alona Malag. It was good work by the Australian defence to come back and cover as well. It would have been a very tight angle for Taobao to score that. Now Kruger, an opportunity to advance forward. She'll go wide this time to Peter Trimis. Peter Trimis, will she go herself here, Trimis? She's forced wide, looking to cut back onto her right foot. She'll play central. Dos Santos! Straight at Banyapa Singh Sai, the half-time substitute in goals for Thailand. A safe pair of hands. The first 45 was full of exciting action, and the second 45 looks to be producing much of the same. Very high quality of football. He's under-20s international. speaks to the investment that Thailand have put into their women's space over the last few years. They want to be regular contributors at Senior World Cups. And this is one of the groups that will help them get there. Vanuatu's ball. Searching for Tao Bao, couldn't find her. We played through to Vanuatu. Vanuatu can't beat Ruby Solomon, who just used her body well. That's part of being a defender for any young players watching. It's not just your ability in those one-on-one situations, it's your ability to block the runs of the attacking players as well. And Sullivan is really good, really strong there, doing just that. Dewey. Dos Santos. Indiana Dos Santos beats one. Plays out to Kruger. Zara Kruger looking to play in Trimis. She can reel this one in here, Trimis. Kruger is an option. She'll play it back down the line. Zara Kruger into Caspers. Maddie Caspers. And a battle with Uticas. Eventually Uticas does well and takes it out of play. India Breyer comes high to take the throw. Breyer's ball in. Dewey fighting for it. As is Dos Santos. Kruger. Breyer. Indiana Dos Santos. Over the crossbar. She's capable from that kind of range, the youngster. Couldn't hit the target on that occasion. Just signs that Australia are beginning to assert themselves a little bit more on this game, but as I say that, Thailand advancing forward. Shubshan looking to play in Castine. And Ruby Sullivan forced to take it out of play. And Patsawan Shubshan with the throw. Back to Castine. Mundong goes to ground, still battling for the ball. When she's coming to ground, Mundong, the determination in Thailand's captain today has been one of the standout features of her game, and amongst the technical ability and ability to play the ball forward, just that determination to beat defenses. Caspers. The ball played over the top, searching for either Trimis or Silvestre. A little bit too much on it. Binyapa Singsai able to comfortably meet the ball. Vanuatu. Ball played in behind. Tao won't get there. Ahead of Alona Malag. Vanuatu trying to chase that one down. Can't get there again. It'll be played back to Malag. Australia very willing to play back to their keeper. Where Castine intercepts high. Madison Castine, she scored 2 already today. Castine, shot blocked by Bertolicio. Good defending from the Canberra United player. Australia moving the ball forward. Need to make something happen. Kruger, Zara Kruger Couldn't get past Jamawang. Well, since the beginning of this game, we saw the Thai bench wrapped in hoodies and blankets earlier. There has been a 6.5-degree drop just in the last hour or so in Canberra. This is typical Canberra stuff for those of us who have spent significant time in Australia's capital. Just means that the tempo of the game will remain high as it cools off. And it's really perfect football playing temperature. Just have to hope that everyone in the stands brought a jacket with them. And the Canberra locals are fully aware of what was likely to come. Shanjui. And the foul given going the way of Thailand. So it gives us another opportunity to go down to Russ Gibbs. Russ, the opening 15 minutes of the second half, just as high in tempo as the first 45.
It certainly has been, Taryn, and that is due, I think, to that cooling temperature, which, as you mentioned, the pace of the game won't drop at all. There's a breeze picking up across the pitch as well, and it is getting quite cool. You mentioned the Thai bench with their jackets on. Well, I've had to put mine on myself, and I'm a local. That's how cool it is getting here this evening. There's been a slight tactical tweak with the Australian lineup. Defensively, we saw at the start of the game, Ruby Sullivan started at the centre of the back three. Tegan Bertolissio is currently occupying that role. She dropped into there a couple of times in the first half, but that seems to be a more permanent move now in the Australian defence. Well, both coaches are also casting their glances over their shoulders, assessing what options they have to see who might make the difference if there's to be a winner in this one with, 28 minutes or so to play. Both benches now have numbers warming up to our left and right, and there's going to be some changes very shortly.
And a shot from distance coming in from Jamawang, just as Russ Gibbs finishes his analysis with us on the sideline. These substitutions very important for both teams. And the fact that Australia haven't made a substitution until this time, it's clear that both of these sides are treating this game more as a trial run for what might come next year during the Under-20s Asian Cup or in competitive competition beyond. Indiana Dos Santos trying to thread a ball through Kruger. Can't find Caspers. Will come back to Breyer. Sienna Silvesca, one way, then the other. Will go out wide to Trimmis. Peter Trimmis cutting inside, offside flag. Will deny her the opportunity to shoot. A couple of substitutions will be incoming shortly for Australia. And indeed, here they are now. So Claire Adams will be coming on the pitch to replace Zara Kruger. And Josie Allen will also be coming on the pitch. She'll be replacing India Breyer. So a very Newcastle Jets flavour to these two substitutions. Josie Allen and Claire Adams, both 18 years of age, both play their club football for the Newcastle Jets. Josie Allen scored against Vanuatu. She'll be looking to add to that tally here today. And Adams, a product of the emerging Jets, will come on. A very good shift from Zara Kruger, who set up the first goal and was very, very busy in midfield. So it'll be fascinating to see how Australia adapts to these changes and what change it makes to the flow of the game. Adams looks as if she is setting up right where Zara Kruger was. And Josie Allen at left wing back where Breyer was. played forward from the free kick for Thailand. But Alicio is there to meet it and head it away. And now Australia perhaps in transition, but Silvestre just opting to keep possession. And that ball aiming for Josie Allen, couldn't reach her. Allen, another speedster. She has a wonderful one-on-one ability with the ball at her feet. She's scored 3 goals in the A-League Women's this season, which is a fantastic return for her in her 3rd season playing at a senior level for the Jets. Really has been her breakout season. Here's Limpowanet. Limpowanet taking on Sullivan. Still Limpowanet with the strike. Mona Malag is there. And Kurosara Limpowanet, we know how dangerous she can be. She's shown that throughout the tournament. So 25 minutes or so of regulation time remaining, plus stoppages. The score's still locked at 2 goals apiece, which is where we were at halftime. Opportunities haven't dried up. Both teams looking to attack, to go forward. As it stands, Australia would be crowned champions of the PacificAus Four Nations Tournament. They have a superior goal difference to Thailand, which is why they would emerge victorious. But a goal for Thailand here would win it for them. And Australia, they won't want to leave this game with just a draw. They will want the victory if they can. They have to get past a very good Thailand side first. Kushan Shom. It's a 4v3 situation here. Dos Santos does manage to get back and defend. Taobao, overlapping run, ball in. Collected well by Malag. She's looked pretty good with the work that she's had to do, the 16-year-old from Adelaide. Claire Adams, the substitute. Josie Allen. And that ball from Caspers to Trimmers, not finding its target. The visible groan you could hear from Corey Babington when that ball didn't reach its target. Dewey. Trimmers was offside. Another exasperated cry from Australia's bench. A very forlorn Peter. It's a little bit out of position, Peter Trimmers. Just kind of run a little bit incorrectly. Kushan Shom need to play the ball forward. Instead, ricochets off from Sago, and Thailand will have to play it back. Adams for Santos. He played forward looking for Silvestre, couldn't find her. So now Jamawong, who's been up and down that left flank all day for Thailand, will continue her run. Moondong, the ball not able to find her teammate Limpowanet. Seveska's been dropping a little bit deeper in the second half, looking to perhaps create from that kind of area. For Santos, poking it forward. Ball played out wide now. Ball delivered in, it's spilled, and it's crossed the line. Australia regain their lead for the third time in this game. Peter Trimmer's put the ball in. It may go down as an own goal, but Australia won't care. Peter Trimmis out on this right flank, put in the ball. It was spilled, and then desperation from the Thailand defence to keep it out. They couldn't do so. And Peter Trimmis, even if it's not credited to her in the eventual referee's report, she has affected that goal that has given the young Matildas the lead. A little bit of a calamity at the back for Thailand. It's unfortunate because Thailand have been so good throughout this game, throughout this tournament. Indeed, we've just received word from the ground that the goal will in fact be awarded to Peter Trimmer. So the 18-year-old scoring goal number 5 for the tournament. So 20 minutes now for Thailand. Can they do it a third time? Can they find that equaliser again? They've done it twice. Both times, Madison Castine, the goal scorer. Here she is now on the ball, looking to affect something, but the substitute Adams in the way. Dos Santos trying to play it through, eventually does come to Caspers. Maddie Caspers fires a shot, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. The offside flag was up. That second run was the reason she was offside. I think if the ball had come through to her the first time, she may have been okay. Here it comes through to Castine. Madison Castine looking to equalise for a third time. Couldn't do so on that occasion. That time she cut inside to her left and fired another shot on target, but wouldn't beat Alona Malag. 10 shots on target for Thailand, only 7 for Australia, but Australia currently leading on the score sheet. I imagine there'll be renewed efforts now for Thailand. That's a good interception in midfield. It's released Trimmis, who can play a ball up to Seveska. Sienna Seveska has support coming in the form of Adams. She'll attempt to play it to her, but Adams had just overshot her run slightly. Castine. Pushing Shom from Tago. Australia marching forward as Thailand prepare for his substitution, perhaps in response to that goal. Dos Santos. There's the foul, and Newpad Moondog preventing it from being taken quickly. And that will be her last involvement in the match. Rinyapad Moondong departs. She'll be replaced by Tanchanok Shunarum, who scored a goal against the Solomon Islands. She also has a senior cap in 2023 against South Korea. So Shunarum, a very highly rated player for Thailand. And she is given the captain's armband by Moondong as she departs. Applause and handshakes for Rinyapad Moondong, who has run her heart out there. She's had a wonderful tournament as Thailand's captain. And it's Australia looking to add a fourth and perhaps seal the 3 points here. And that pass has found Limpawanet. Limpawanet releasing Taobao. Amelia Bennett there. Able to calmly claim and play back to Malag. Malag. Bit of fancy footwork. Oh, and that's gone wrong for Dewey. It's opened up a chance for Thailand, and yeah, that's a coach killer. Looks great when it comes off. Peter Trimis on the end of that ball. Looking to cut inside. Claire Adams can't get there. It's fast-paced stuff at the moment, end to end. Montago. Dos Santos. Peter Trimis. Adams. All played central, and then Caspers. Good defensive work from Utikas again, that use of the body. It's like in chess, you can't just play your next move, you have to predict what the opponent wants and what the opponent wants to play as well. That's what you have to do when you're a defender. You have to make sure that you can see the intended runs of your opposition players and make sure to mark those accordingly and read the play well. Saveska. Sienna Saveska with the strike! There's her hat-trick! Sienna Saveska unleashing from the edge of the area. And that is the goal that may well seal the game for Australia. Well, what a few months Sienna Saveska is having. How about this? The header from Caspers. On her first touch, just unleashes the strike. Smiles all round. The celebration for her achievement, an international hat-trick. Meanwhile, Peter Trimis, who scored the third goal for Australia, departs. She's replaced by Kaylee Talon-Henniker, a like-for-like sub. Talon-Henniker will likely come on to that right wing position. But it's all about Sienna Saveska at the moment. And that goal also puts Sienna Saveska on top of the Golden Boot race for the tournament. That's an added little bonus. But her main concern is helping Australia seal this result now.
Maddie, on the press now. Julie's on her own and you two on the 10. On the press. Sienna, on the press, you're blocking line of the 6.
It's a lovely moment with that celebration as well. The teenagers pointing to her shirt, pointing to her number. This is a name that Australian football fans will become very, very familiar with over the next few years. Here's Talon-Henniker, the substitute. Kaylee Talon-Henniker driving into the penalty area. Back to Caspers towards the back post. Saveska was lurking again. So a couple more substitutions now incoming for Thailand. We will see National Konsansakakun coming on, and also Pat Charapom Kuchia coming out. is Madison Castine, who's scored a brace today. A fantastic performance from her. And also Rosita Taubao, who's looked dangerous, but hasn't been able to convert that into a goal that she would have liked. So perhaps some final attacking substitutions now for Thailand as they look to push to reduce this 2-goal deficit. Right, just caught on the ball there, which allows Caspers to nip in. Caspers, Silveska, ball played forward, the shot from Adams goes wide. Oh, she's so disappointed there, Claire Adams. That was great work, firstly from Caspers and then Silveska, that little ball in behind. Silveska showing that she's not just a goal scorer, she can set them up as well. And unfortunately for Claire Adams, she wasn't able to hit the target. Thailand trying to force their way forward, they'll win the throw. Well, we'll throw now back to Russ Gibbs on the sideline. Russ, the complexion of the game changing somewhat now, Australia taking the 2-goal lead.
We mentioned it might be players off the bench to make the difference, Taryn, and I think the change of shape to 4 at the back has certainly helped Australia. They're preparing 3 more changes as well as I speak, so they're going to be emptying the bench very shortly. Just a word on a couple of the goals. The one that was before us, the match commissioner and the 4th official were very close to where we are, and they confirmed that Peter Trimmis got the touch, and that strike from Sienna Silveska, we were lucky enough to be right behind that when it left her left boot, and there was no doubt it was going nowhere else but the back of the net. It dipped beautifully over the goalkeeper. It's a stunning finish. It's probably the best goal of the tournament, even though we've had some absolute scorchers throughout this week as well. And if that's the goal that seals it for Australia, well, it's one worthy of winning the piece of silverware that sat across from us.
Thank you, Russ, and indeed that goal from Silveska. My word, what a way to score an international hat-trick. She'll leave this game with a match ball. A lot of memories, and wow, an absolutely stunning goal as well. Ball played inside, Dos Santos not able to get there ahead of Chunarum. So as Russ just mentioned, Australia preparing some more substitutions as well. A minute since the legs of more players. Again, this is just the beginning of a long under-20s national team cycle. This is just the first squad of many, many players that we will see over the next year, year and a half, 2 years, as these players look to build towards an under-20 Asian Cup, and hopefully for the 3rd time in a row, for an Australian perspective, the under-20 World Cup as well. Ball played central, Silveska looking for a 4th. She's swarmed by blue shirts whenever she's near the ball at the moment, Sienna Silveska. Dewey. Dos Santos. Indiana Dos Santos trying to put in a ball. And it's picked away by Jamawong. Oh, the youngsters from Gungahlin FC enjoying themselves. Is that Maya Markovsky in the crowd there as well? Some Canberra United players coming out to watch the action. Of course, many of the fans in the stands will also be very familiar with Canberra United. It is the only team in the A-League Women's that is a standalone women's team that doesn't have a men's team attached. It is set to change in the next few years, but as of right now, that is the case, and they're very passionate about their Canberra United here in the nation's capital. So more substitutions incoming here for Australia. Talia Younis, who was so impressive on the weekend, gets her chance to come on. She'll replace Amelia Bennett. And the other substitution, Nikita Fazari, will come on and she will replace Sienna Silvesca. What a day out from Sienna Silvesca. A hat-trick, wonderful performance from the 18-year-old from the Western Sydney Wanderers. It's all smiles, all hugs and handshakes from the bench. But now some more players with the opportunity to impress. Eunice need to play it up the line straight away. The ball not able to be controlled by Australia. So on the counter here, Thailand, Kuchia goes to ground. And Josie Allen has done very well to come back and snuff out that threat. Kushan Chomp looking to find a way through. Beaten a number of Australian players here, but the shot's blocked away. Shunarum intercepted by Eunice. And eventually it's Thailand who win the free kick. Keegan Bertolicio cannot believe it. But it was Thailand's Jalapam Jamawong who was brought to ground. So it makes sense. It will be Jamawong who will have custody over this free kick. Perhaps looking to play in a teammate with that left boot. He is within shooting distance. He may well go for it here. Let's see what the approach is from Thailand. Shot from Jamawong has to be punched away by Malag. The crowd loved that shot and they love that save as well. Now a Thai player going to ground right on the edge of the area. So they'll have another chance from a set piece. It was National Kukusan Sakakun who was fouled. So this strike from Jamawong was on target. Malag did well, and then a foul right outside the box. So another chance to whip it in. This angle might be a little bit too tight for a shot, but lots of players forward. Can Thailand make these last few minutes interesting? Ball delivered in low, hard, and flashes across the face of goal. What needed was a touch to deflect it into the path of goal. And you'd imagine it may have been a third. So for Thailand, two more substitutions. Kurusara Limpawanit coming off. Manita Noive, one of the players coming on, as is Chujukan Kitikun. Mopatsawan Shubshan, the second player coming off. So a couple more minutes here for Thailand to find a third, maybe even a fourth goal. The way that they conceded the third goal, I think, stifled a lot of their momentum that they had It really seemed like the air was just pushed out of their tyres with that goal. And it's certainly also been the case, to Australia's credit, that they have gotten stronger as the game's gone on. And that is partly the substitutions that Corey Babington has used. It's partly the way that Australia have played this tournament. So many changes with each game. Many more than Thailand's, whose only change coming into this game from the previous one was their goalkeeper, who they then substituted at half-time anyway. So perhaps a fatigue issue as well. Ball played in towards the back post. It will go all the way through, and Montago will play it to collect. Montago can't get past Yunus. And Yunus now will play it up the line. So 5 minutes of stoppage time in Canberra. 5 minutes for Thailand to pull off what would be a miracle. And 5 minutes for Australia to hold on. Kushanshan. And ball in. Gathered by Rona Melag. Australia will be wanting to keep possession, just make life a little bit easier for themselves. But it's Thailand to trying to force things. She has been very lively since she's been on this right flank. It's where they've found a lot of their joy today, Thailand. Those 2 goals coming from Madison Castine. She was playing on the right-hand side of Thailand's attack. Will Fazari be able to chase this down? Peter Fazari, Kaylee Talon-Henniker teaming up. Well, instead, Alisada Utikas beats them both. Peter Fazari was the youngest member of the Australian women's futsal team that competed at the Asian Cup qualifiers recently. She's got 5 goals in that tournament too, so she is someone that's certainly a good technical player for the future. And pretty handy at outdoor as well. Representing her country at under 20 level. Weave's throw. So regardless of result, this has been a fantastic hit out for both of these teams. They will both take a lot out of this match and this tournament as a whole, both on and off the pitch. As Kuchia has the ball again down that right flank, but defended well by Josie Allen. Of course, off the pitch, they had that dinner together at Parliament House. They got to meet each other, learn a lot about each other. Thailand have had an experience of coming to a new country, a different country, conducting a lot of interviews as well, that media side of it, either in English or with a translator, which are all just fantastic experiences for players who aspire to represent their country at a senior level. Here come Australia, ball across, and it's 5. Kaylee Talon-Henniker was the finishing touch on a flowing team move from Australia. And it is a goal that befits their performance this evening. Alona Malag coming all the way from goals to celebrate. How about that cross? Perfect for Kaylee Talon-Henniker, and she acknowledges it immediately. The 3rd goal of the tournament. Talon-Henniker, she scored 2 against the Solomon Islands. And in stoppage time, it was Thailand pressing, but that left space is in behind. Kaylee Talon-Henneke able to exploit. Kizikun. Kuchia. Well, despite this result for Thailand, again, a wonderful learning experience. Difficult for them playing away from home. But this is what tournament football is like. You can see the shoots of some wonderful footballing ability in their side. It is the stated aim of Thai women's football to get better, to qualify for Senior Women's World Cups regularly, to begin to get out of group stages of those tournaments as well. And the work that they're doing, the investment that they're making, is looking very, very good. But that is full time. The final game of the PacificAus Sports Four Nations Tournament ends in an Australian victory. The Sienna Saveskia hat-trick means that full time it is the young Matildas 5, Thailand under 20s 2. Well, that is a performance that is all about Australia and all about Sienna Saveskia. And as much as Thailand impressed, particularly in that first half, those 2 goals to Madison Castine, Australia played the second half as the dominant side. The scoreboard reflects that in the end. Some measure of revenge for the under-17s who lost to Thailand in that Asian Cup. Smiles, hugs all around. Peter Trimmis and Kaylee Talon-Henneke scoring as well as the Saveskia hat-trick. Let's take a look at the highlights from this game. The first goal was a wonderful ball in from Zara Kruger that found Sienna Saveskia. She was able to put it away. This is just class and quality all around. A perfect finish off the inside of the post. Thailand, though, they hit back. Madison Castine, this run inside the box and then a finish from a tight angle. Castine currently at the North Carolina Courage Academy. She was raised in the United States. She represents Thailand, the country of her heritage. Australia took the lead again. That penalty from Saveskia. But then, how about this from Castine? The touch onto her right and then bang into the bottom corner of the net. That meant that at half-time it was 2-2, despite the best efforts of both sides. The second half saw again that high intensity continue from both teams. It was really a back and forth, fascinating battle between the two. And Alona Malark had a lot to do in goals, but eventually the shackles were broken in the second half. Peter Trimmis putting that ball in. The keeper wasn't able to collect, and the defenders not able to keep it from going over the line. Australia would add 2 more. This from Sienna Saveskia. How about that goal of the tournament, perhaps? A beautiful floated finish over the top of the keeper. Nothing Benyapa Singsai could do. And then a third added right towards the end in stoppage time. Kaylee Talon-Henneke getting on the end of a pinpoint ball in. There are the match stats, even for shots and very close to even for shots on target. Australia just having a little bit of higher quality of chances, and that's why they were able. It certainly always helps that goal-scoring cause. Well, we'll go down now pitch side. Russ Gibbs has the hat-trick hero with us.
I certainly do. Sienna, fantastic individual display amongst the team performance that was superb. International hat-trick capped off by that wonder goal. How are you feeling right now?
pretty amazing. It was good to be out there with the girls today. We knew it was going to be a tough game, but we stuck to it and we got the result in the end, and it was fun out there, so it was good.
Yeah, it was an excellent performance from the team against a very tough opposition. They made you work really hard for it, didn't they? Yeah,
for sure. We were running around the park and we knew that they were a good team, and we did work on them during the week, and yeah, we knew that they were going to be pretty tough, so we stuck to our game plan, and I guess it worked out in the end, and it was good.
Yeah, great result today that summed up the week. How's it been in camp for this full week and having 3 games?
Yeah, pretty good. It's been tough. It's been hard. We've played about 3 games in 6 days, I think. So a new cohort, which is pretty good as well. We've got along well, and just being out on the field together has been nice. And I think it's a great team. We have a great team, and I think we can go pretty far with this team. So it's been good.
Getting to play against 2 full international sides from the OFC Confederation as well. What have you made from the PacificAus Sports Tournament, and what's been your takeaway?
Yeah, it's been a good tournament. I think we performed well against all teams. There were some physical teams and then more technical teams like Thailand, and it's challenged us in many different ways, and I think we went and got up to the challenge, and I think we're building, and we're a good side, so it'll be good.
Thanks very much for joining us. Congratulations on the hat-trick. We'll let you go and join your team for the trophy presentation.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Sienna Silvesca and Russ Gibbs as well for that interview. So fantastic to see Australia's young talent shining. And that was a fantastic back and forth end-to-end game. It's a game that players on both sides would have gotten so much out of. Indiana Dos Santos, the player there who wore the captain's armband for this game, but leadership duties shared around amongst the players throughout the tournament. And it's another part of that learning experience that they would have had throughout the week. They'll take some photos with the fans. Wonder if there's some family in that crowd as well. Special memories for these players to take back home with them. Not only have they had that experience on the pitch, they're also having wonderful experiences off the pitch as well. There will be a presentation after this game, so stay with us for that. But we'll just wait on Australia and Thailand making their way over. And watching youth internationals. There are slightly different goals. When you get to under 20s level, it is about performance and about results, but particularly at under 17s level, and you have to remember this is the first camp at under 20s level in this cycle. So the goals are very much about performance and about growing players as much as the results. And while results are important, it is the things that the players are learning along the way that helps them to become better, that helps them grow. The vast majority of these players playing at A-League women's clubs for Australia, but they'll learn so much from today. Let's go down to ground level now for that presentation.
Football Australia would like to thank PacificAus Sports for supporting this tournament, allowing us to witness 6 excellent matches throughout the week. Thank you, PacificAus Sports, for your support. Our presentation party this evening consists of Gary Moretti, Football Australia Head of National Teams, and Albert Manaroto, General Secretary of the Vanuatu Football Federation. Gary and Albert will now present the trophy to the Australian national team, captained by Indiana Dos Santos. Show your appreciation for the PacificAus Sports Four Nations Tournament winners, Australia!
So there it is, Australia, the young Matildas with the trophy. PacificAus Sports Four Nations victors for the 2nd time in the second bar. But for now, thank you very much for watching.